nutmeg, they only used to find it in spaces like Indonesia.
Choose rice.
Welcome to my studio. I'm so glad you're making time to join me today. Now, after a day spent with my dear daughter, one of the things I often crave is a space where I get to just do things my way. Well, if you don't have kids, well, let's just start by saying that kids have a mind of their own and they often don't plan to do what we ask them to do. And this is where the power of problem solving and negotiation really comes in. Well, today I would love for you to sit with me and listen to me chat as I talk you through some of the big reasons why art and watercolor is so much more than just painting for me. The first time I discovered watercolor, this was back in 2016, and during this time, I craved a space where I got to express myself because being in the clinic and being a psychologist full time meant that I was holding space for so many people around me. This really made me feel like I needed an outlet to express myself and be able to just let all of my feelings free. In today's painting, I am working on an abstract piece where I just decided to splatter some color on the paper and then let the blobs determine what shapes come about. Sometimes painting this way is so freeing because I get to choose where I want flowers to appear on a page. As you're watching me paint, you're going to see that I am working with just small marks, changing up my brush every now and then where I need to add fine details, or using a bigger brush where I need to add in more color. Now, as you are watching me paint, I just want to take this opportunity to show my gratitude for you spending time with me today. I know there could be so many more things that could be taking up space for you right now, but you making time to be with me is really such a privilege. I'd love for you to take a moment and just comment and tell me where you're from so I can really get to know the people who are supporting the videos that I'm making. Now, on to the story. I don't know about you, but I remember the very first time I saw paint move on paper. There was this grounding moment that just sucked my entire soul into that very moment. I have been understanding the theoretical concept behind mindfulness. However, the first time I experienced that grounding sensation with watercolor, it really helped me understand what the experience of mindfulness meant. There was this calm sensation that just rushed through my body where I was really staying in touch with whatever that was happening right in front of me. Nothing else around me could distract me from that moment. And it was at that time that I realized how much more watercolor could give me beyond just the act of creating something. There is something about the repetitive motion and movement of our brush, our hand, and just watching everything come together. As you're watching me paint this piece, you aren't able to see what exactly is going on in my mind. I am not necessarily knowing exactly what I'm doing, but there is also this inkling of wanting to push forward, get curious, see how exactly I want to problem solve through the different blobs and shapes that I'm looking at. After many failed attempts at different flowers, I don't often paint a piece like this that you are seeing in a video, and this is where it has really built my ability to become more resilient towards different situations where I know things might not turn out the way I want. I have applied this with motherhood because my kids, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, they have their own things that they want to do, their own plans. And while I want to have them come to the dinner table, go take a shower, they obviously have other more important things to tackle, like play and do crafts and everything else that needs to be done just before dinner time or bath time. So, being able to sit with the discomfort or even learning to problem solve and think about creative ways of engaging with my kids so that they would connect with what we want to do together, which is to sit down and eat dinner. All of this really came from my practice with watercolor. When I was learning watercolor in the beginning, one of the struggles that I had was not being able to control where the colors went or how sometimes I ended up creating mixtures on my paper that I didn't like. Now, watercolor has really given me the opportunity to practice letting go. Watercolor met me at a time where I was struggling with fertility. We were trying to have our firstborn, and at that point in time, I was having so much difficulty understanding why things were not happening. How was it that we were seeking help and doing everything we could, from changing our diet to getting sufficient sleep and trying to reduce our stress levels, but it was still not happening. When I got into watercolor, it became a new obsession beyond trying to have a baby. Now, watercolor became my new baby, where I started to get obsessed about trying to figure out how was I going to paint loose florals. And during my learning journey, one of the biggest things that I noticed was I had to let go of so many things. I had to let go of expectations. I had to let go of control. And I also had to let go of outcomes. There were so many different things I was learning from watercolor that could apply to my everyday life. I felt like watercolor has not only given me the ability to express my emotions in a way that is grounding and meditative, but also given me the opportunity to see things in new ways, where we now appreciate the journey more than the outcome. We start to see that the practice of being patient and allowing things to unfold in its own time all comes from lessons of learning watercolor. Now that I've shared snippets of my story, and if you are still watching me develop this painting, watching each tiny brushstroke bring this piece to life, I would love to hear from you and for you to give yourself the opportunity to reflect on how watercolor has not only given you the chance to find and feel joy, but also how it has translated into your life such that it becomes more than just art. We're soon coming to the end of this painting. Now, before I wrap on, I just want to share with you how excited I am that watercolor has not only given me the opportunity to learn life lessons from it, but also it has become a gift that I now gift to you and all the other students I've been teaching online. It's been so amazing getting to meet so many artists all around the world just because of that one day I decided to pick up the brush and start painting. Thank you once again for joining me. I can't wait for us to paint together again, and I'll see you in the next video.